Taylor Corporation is an apple grower, packer and exporter based in Hawke's Bay. It exports around 1 million cartons annually and can't grow enough fruit to meet demand. The business is owned and operated by Calvin and Lynette Taylor and their 3 children.
Oh, we're an integrated business, we grow our own nursery trees and then we plant them out in the orchards. We got our own packing facility and also we do all our exporting. We use other exporters sometimes, but the majority is done through ourselves. Cameron, my son and I, we do the marketing as well. Being a family business, we share in a lot of things and it's great. There's around about 900 acres we have, about 360 or in that vicinity of hectares and that, so yeah. And it's all ages of trees right down to just plantings, which we try to plant about 50 acres a year or 100 acres a year to keep going. When I was 18, I was going to buy a new car and then I thought otherwise maybe this is not the right way to go, and my father being in the apple business too and his father was too, that I thought I'd better buy some land. And where the pack house is now, that I bought my first bit of land when it was 5 hectares and I was 18 years old. My son being the 4th generation and his kids, they're young still, but they come down and they're interested. As far as exports, we generally pick on people that are family people overseas sort of thing, and you get to know them better. I think it's more relaxing talking to somebody and we get a relationship going and that's good, and it's been really excellent. As much as it's a business, it's a hobby and we all enjoy it and that's really why, we want to do the best, our name's on the box, so that's how it is. We're definitely in a growth stage. Markets are good, everything's buoyant at the moment. So yeah, we're really hammering along at that, trying to get trees in the ground and find new machinery to get it done more efficiently. We generally target the more sweeter apple rather than the tartar ones like Braeburn and that, which is mainly for Europe. So we've gone more for Asian palate sort of thing, so Queen and Royal Galas and that sort of thing.
We do try and target family businesses where you're dealing with the owner that, you build up a trust. Everyone thinks Asia is, the cheaper product, but there's a lot of wealth over there, and if you can tap into that, and they'll pay good money, but it's got to be the best. It was daunting, but we found it relatively easy. Once we went in, door knocking, or some came to us, it flew. We put the new plant in, and the volume that goes through our shed, we're a ton of apples every minute or couple of minutes, and we've got 2 stages of our pack house, so we put in cameras for the control room, so you can imagine if a bout jams and you've still got the volume, you can have 1 metre high apples all on your conveyors. So we put in these cameras all in all certain areas. All our buyers can log on 24/7, 7 days of the week on and see the plant going. So there is no secrets. But we do encourage all our buyers to come to New Zealand, walk around the orchards. We have dinner at home, they meet my kids, and that was important. That's where I brought in Mandarin. We're going over there with the languages. I always was embarrassed sort of thing, you could talk to them in English and I could only say hello, ni hao. So from a very young age, I think my youngest was around 6 months when he started introduce Mandarin to my kids, so all the grandchildren now are learning Mandarin. We partnered up with Oratane 7-8 years ago. It was a bit of an expense. What happened was our fruit, we were selling it, so it goes to a pre-packer. In Europe it gets sold in big container lots, in big consignments. It could be 18 kilos. It goes to a pre-packer and then they'll repack it into a clamshell or something like that. Where New Zealand is known for the safe, quality fruit. So what the pre-packer was doing is buying cheaper fruit, from another country, and they were mixing and blending it in with New Zealand, or it was our fruit, Taylor's fruit. So when it got to the supermarket, they were doing tests because residues are a big thing over there, like it is everywhere. And we sell ours with near nil residue. We're getting really close. So then when they found a chemical on our fruit, they were shocked. We were shocked. Oratane come in, they do soil samples, fruit samples, water samples. So they're taking the trace elements I think there's 42 isotopes they're measuring. So they can now, with all our library samples, get an apple and say within 300 metres of it being harvested or picked. So if there is something wrong with it and the scientists, it's ours fruit, or they can prove that it was down the road, they can say it's New Zealand fruit, Hawke's Bay fruit. It's easy to say if it's Southern Hemisphere fruit because of the water, the isotopes in the water. So it was done as an insurance. Now we're actually using it to add value to the end consumer.
We roughly do around 200 to 250 tonne per day. We work a 10-hour day and we go 6 days a week. We have around 60 permanent workers that work for us all year round, and then we bring in RSEs and we also use locals. It kind of gets up to around the 250, sometimes 300 mark, that totally from packhouse to the fields. With the RSE workers, we get them from Tonga, Tuvalu, and in the packhouse we get them from Thailand. And we accommodate them all. We pay half their airfares in here. They're all good workers, all reliable and turn up on time, which is really good. People think it's just picking apples or boring jobs, but it's quite different to that today. We have our own IT staff. We write all our own programs. We do foreign currency. We're exporting our fruit ourselves. And it's the nursery. We grow our own trees. So it's right through, There's all sorts of jobs.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.